Hello, so I want to show you how we tripled the restaurant sales with brand strategy in just under 6 months. My name is Jose and I'm the founder and CEO of Round Branding, a brand strategy and design agency. This all started in January when I got a call. Most of our clients come through referrals, so one of our clients that had worked with us and had a really great experience referred us to another person that had a restaurant, and they called us in January and told us that they were planning on closing down because the restaurant had only been open for around 6 months and it wasn't doing great and sales were declining. There wasn't enough people coming through the doors. So I want to show you how we took them from 30K per month in sales to over 90K per month in sales, and being able to really generate a community and being able to actually fill out the restaurant most of the times, have cool events. Yeah, so this is the restaurant that we're going to be talking about. You can follow them on Instagram there as well. So what you will learn in this video is how we achieve this, taking them from 30K to 90K through content and paid ads, and how to apply it to your own business. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. So the first thing we did is we started by redefining their ideal customer. So when they started working with us, they had an unclear buyer persona. They basically said, whoever comes through the door, whoever has the money, that's our ideal customer. They had no clear value proposal. Like, there was no real differentiation between them and other restaurants in the area. So it wasn't clear really to the audience what made them special, what made them different. And there was a certain perception in the market that the restaurant was too expensive. So thing we started on, and we defined two main buyer personas, which we call them Executive Emma and Family Focused Jessica, which is basically the idea of having these fictional characters. We noticed that in the area, there were a lot of companies nearby within 5-mile radius. So we noticed that we could target a lot of the companies and have them eat at their lunch hours with special promotions that they could build out exclusively for them. We usually use this setup, which is a little template that we use that I'm also going to put at the bottom of this video so that you can get the template. And it's how we define all of our buyer personas. We create a story about them, and we can actually not only understand demographics, but also psychographics. What's the story, what's their background, what are their expectations, desires, and map out also their entire buyer's journey so that we can really understand who we're talking to and how we should talk to them. Based on that, we audited the brand experience. So this is really important because you want to make sure that the customer experience is the one that our buyer persona expects. So if you don't have your buyer personas defined, and if you already have them defined, make sure that they're up to date, because buyer behavior changes very rapidly. To make sure that everything in regards to the brand and the experience is matching to that buyer persona. So what we found out from this investigation is that they weren't doing a lot of social media and outreach, and if they were doing it at a very beginner level, nothing really that it was actually causing an impact. It was certainly not the easiest to book a reservation. Once you had contact with the restaurant, it was easier, but if you were a complete stranger, it was really hard to know how to book a reservation. Also, ordering takeout. This restaurant was built after the pandemic, so something that is really important to all restaurants right now is being able to order takeout and have that being a very easy and a very intuitive process. It's important, especially when you don't want to use apps that charge you a lot of percentage. Having built that system in-house in a efficient manner is very important, and those three things were lacking. However, the in-restaurant experience, the food quality, and the customer service was great. When you went to the restaurant, the food was amazing, the service was amazing, the atmosphere was amazing, the place was really nice, the plates, the glasses, everything looked of really high quality. And once you were there, you noticed that the portions of the food were really big, so that also kind of compensates for the price, and it's why people had this perception of it being a more expensive restaurant when it was just the fact that everything was made so that it was a great experience. So we had to make sure to understand that essence to be able to reflect it in everything that we do. So after that, we needed to establish goals and timelines, and these were really clear for us from the beginning. It was to reach from 30K to 50K in 3 months, and also to change the perception of the restaurant being expensive. Those were the two main goals that we set out, and we had around 3 months to achieve these goals. And One of the main key facts that we use to achieve this was the 3-visit rule. So the 3-visit rule for a restaurant basically states that if they visit 3 times, the likelihood of they becoming a loyal customer is 70%. So you want to make sure that people are coming to your restaurant at least 3 times, and you have to build promotions to make them want to come that second and third time. Okay, that way you can make sure that at least they're coming 3 times and they're giving you that opportunity. Because think about it, like, when was the last time you went to a new restaurant? How often do you go to a new restaurant? Most people repeat the same restaurant over and over again. Most of us, we go to the same place because we know how it's gonna be, we know how the food quality is gonna be, we know how the service is gonna be, we know where it is, we know which park. We don't want to think about these things over and over again every time we eat. So it's hard for people to try new restaurants, and we want to make sure that when they're coming to our restaurants, they're having a great experience, so that they're thinking about coming a second, third, and that will make it very likely that they become repeat customers. So they know what to expect. Based on that, we started producing content, and it's very important to produce this content. We collaborated with management to generate promotions. So we generated promotions for happy hour, we generated promotions during sporting events, we generated promotions for birthday and special occasions. This is how the feed looks right now. You can check it out on Instagram, but it's really important that, especially when you can identify that you have low moments during the day or during the week, that you're doing something to incentivize people to come to your restaurant during those times. Or if you want to make your restaurant be the spot for certain locations, make sure that you're inviting people for those special events. For them, it was really important that they knew the restaurant as a place where they could watch big sporting events, because they have big TVs and they have big setups for them to watch sports. So for us, starting to promote these events on social media, it was really important. And also, they wanted to be the restaurant for special occasions like birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, etc. So also building out promotions so that people were incentivized to celebrate those events in the restaurant was really important. We tackled both goals with these tactics because promotions attracted a larger audience due to lower prices, which also helped us change the perception of the restaurant. So not only are we attracting more people, but we are also making them think this place is not that expensive and the food portion size looks of good value, right? So by having these promotions, we're shooting 2 birds with 1 stone. So this was really one of the main key things that we did to start growing the audience. We also worked with them to create special events like wine tastings. We noticed that the restaurant was focusing on selling a lot of wine, and the owners really had this idea of having wine tastings, which is something that they had done in the past, but they wanted to do it even more. So it's a unique experience that maybe they can't get in another restaurant in the same city. Once we started doing that, we started the ad campaigns. So the ad campaigns follow the principle that the content needed to use key messages and imagery that targeted our desired audience, and when it reached over 500 views in 1 day organically, that's when we boost. Okay, so it was important for us to start testing out these content. We usually put out around 15 pieces of content every month, and around the half of it, especially the video content, started gaining traction. So once it reached those 500 views in 1 day, that's when we knew we could boost it. Test was working, and then boosting it helped us boost even more those posts that were already working. We always keep a continuous feedback and optimization loop with the client. We're always changing month to month, so it's really important for us to make sure that we're always learning and making sure that we're always improving. So these are the results. These are the sales for the last few months. In the month of January, when they called us, they were doing around $35,000 per month. As you can see, in March, a couple of months later, we were able to reach the goal of 50,000 that they put for themselves. And then in the next few months, we were able to go way over that, reaching $90,000 in the month of May. These are the latest numbers that we have from the date that I'm recording this video, which is August 20th, 2024. Our goal right now is going to be to stay between the 60s and 70s. That's a good point to stay at right now. Of course, if we have months like May a little bit more frequently, it's going to be even better. But having a 60 to 60 goal, it's very good. The market market that they have is a local market. They're in a small town of around 300,000 people, so they don't have a huge market. It's not really important for them to go super viral and have 300,000 views in their videos because they're not gonna have that many clients. So it's really important that we keep this up for the next months to make sure that this restaurant has long-term viability. That's how we triple the restaurant sales with brand strategy. My name is Jose again. Thank you very much for watching.